For decades, Voyager 1 drifted through the deepest darkness ever reached by a human machine. Built to travel farther than anything humanity had ever launched, it carried only a simple mission: keep moving forward into the silence beyond our solar system. But recently, that silence may have revealed something deeply unsettling. Inside one of Voyager 1's latest transmitted images, advanced artificial intelligence reportedly identified a strange hidden pattern. At first glance, the frame looked ordinary, just another faint signal from a spacecraft billions of miles away. Yet after deeper enhancement, analysts noticed something unusual emerging from the noise. A subtle geometric structure. Ordered. Repeating. Almost impossible to dismiss as random interference. What made the discovery disturbing was not simply the shape itself, but how it appeared connected to Voyager. The pattern seemed strangely aligned with the spacecraft rather than the distant stars behind it. That raised an uncomfortable possibility. Was Voyager carrying the anomaly with it? Or was something out there moving alongside the probe in deep interstellar space? The mystery deepened when researchers compared the image with Voyager 1's recent strange behavior. Around the same period, the spacecraft experienced unexpected signal irregularities, unexplained orientation shifts, and unusual communication patterns. Voyager even appeared to turn toward a region of space that contained no visible object or target. Instead of behaving like a dying machine, the probe seemed almost responsive, as though reacting to something unseen. Once these events were examined together, the image stopped looking isolated. The structured pattern, the telemetry disruptions, the strange alignment changes, and the unusual transmission behavior began to resemble parts of a larger encounter. Even more unsettling was the way the anomaly behaved over time. According to the analysis, the structure subtly shifted whenever Voyager's instruments became active, almost as if the pattern responded to observation itself. That idea sounds impossible because observer-like effects are usually confined to the quantum world, not massive structures in interstellar space. Yet the deeper the analysis went, the harder it became to explain the anomaly as simple sensor decay or transmission damage. The geometry appeared meaningful. Repeating intervals resembled mathematical relationships found in nature, ordered spacing instead of chaos. The image no longer resembled random corruption. It looked intentional. The timing of the encounter added another layer of mystery. The anomaly appeared after Voyager crossed the heliopause, the boundary where the sun's protective influence fades and true interstellar space begins. That detail matters because it suggests Voyager may not have entered empty space at all. Instead, it may have crossed into a region where the environment behaves in ways humanity does not yet understand. The spacecraft's signals also changed in strange ways. Engineers expected degradation from a probe launched in the 1970s, but some disruptions appeared oddly precise and rhythmic rather than random. Once analyzed together, the transmissions resembled interaction more than malfunction, almost as if Voyager's signals were being altered or echoed by something external. That possibility changes everything. Because if the image anomaly, the transmission behavior, and Voyager's sudden reactions are truly connected, then the most unsettling explanation is no longer mechanical failure. It becomes the possibility that Voyager encountered some kind of organized phenomenon in interstellar space. Not necessarily a spacecraft in the traditional science fiction sense. It could be a field, a structure, or something entirely outside current understanding. But whatever it may be, the clues point toward relationship rather than coincidence. The image contained order. The signals changed with unusual precision. The spacecraft reacted. And the anomaly appeared linked to the exact region Voyager entered after leaving the solar system behind. Perhaps the darkest possibility is this: Voyager 1 did not simply discover something strange. Something strange may have noticed Voyager first. One detail remains especially chilling. The anomaly did not behave like a distant background object fading behind the spacecraft. Instead, it appeared associated with Voyager's own motion, almost as though it remained connected to the probe itself. If true, that transforms the encounter completely. This would no longer be a brief glimpse of something Voyager passed in the darkness. It could represent a sustained interaction, something that stayed with humanity's farthest traveler long after the first moment of contact. For generations, interstellar space has been imagined as endless emptiness, cold, silent, and lifeless. But if Voyager's encounter is real, then deep space may not be empty at all. Sparse, yes. Vast beyond imagination, yes. But perhaps not silent. Voyager the first of may have become more than humanity's most distant machine. It may have become the first witness to something hidden beyond the familiar boundaries of our solar system. Something structured. Something responsive. Something that challenges the old idea that the cosmos is nothing but darkness and distance. And maybe that is the true significance of this story. Not that Voyager found something impossible, but that somewhere beyond the heliopause, in the endless black between the stars, something may have been waiting there all along. Far beyond the reach of sunlight, Voyager 1 continues its lonely journey through a region of space humanity barely understands. More than 15 billion miles from Earth, the aging spacecraft drifts through interstellar darkness carrying fragments of human civilization into the unknown. Its systems are weakening. Its power is fading. Yet somehow, the probe keeps transmitting. And recently, those transmissions may have revealed something impossible. What first alarmed researchers was not a dramatic signal or a clear visual discovery. It was something quieter. Stranger. Tiny irregularities buried deep inside Voyager's communication stream. At first, engineers assumed the disturbances came from failing hardware. After all, Voyager was never designed to survive this long. Every signal arriving at Earth has traveled for nearly an entire day through freezing emptiness before reaching NASA's antennas as little more than whispers in static. But some of the distortions refused to behave like ordinary failure. The interruptions appeared patterned. Repeating. Precise. That detail changed everything. Random decay creates chaos. Aging electronics produce inconsistency. But Voyager's strange signal fluctuation seemed almost organized, as though another process was interfering with the probe's transmissions in a controlled way. Some analysts compared it to hearing an echo return from a canyon, except the echo sounded slightly altered from the original voice that created it. Then came the image. Buried within a faint transmission frame, advanced AI enhancement uncovered a structure so subtle that human observers initially overlooked it completely. Once amplified, the anomaly appeared geometric, layered with repeating formations that resembled mathematical spacing rather than visual noise. The discovery triggered immediate debate. Skeptics argued the structure was simply compression damage or sensor distortion created by an ancient spacecraft operating beyond its limits. But supporters of the anomaly theory pointed to something deeply unsettling. The pattern remains strangely connected to Voyager itself. It did not drift naturally with the background stars. It appeared locked to the probe's movement. That possibility transformed the entire encounter. Because if the anomaly moved with Voyager, then this was no longer a distant object briefly captured and passing. It suggested interaction. Persistence. Presence. Something may have remained near the spacecraft after the initial event. And that is where the fear truly began. For decades, scientists viewed interstellar space as mostly empty, a thin ocean of particles stretching endlessly between stars. Voyager's mission was never expected to encounter structures, fields, or organized anomalies beyond the heliopause. Yet after crossing that invisible boundary where the sun's influence ends, the probe began behaving in ways no one predicted. Unexpected orientation changes. Unusual communication interruptions. Instrument responses that seem tied to regions of apparently empty space. Individually, each event could be dismissed. Together, they formed a pattern that became increasingly difficult to ignore. Some researchers proposed a disturbing possibility. What if the heliopause is not simply a boundary between solar and interstellar space? What if it is also a threshold between environments governed by entirely different conditions, conditions humanity has never directly observed before? That idea may sound extreme, but Voyager's strange encounter has forced scientists to confront an uncomfortable truth. Humanity has explored planets, moons, asteroids, and distant comets, yet the vast majority of interstellar space remains completely unknown. Voyager 1 is effectively alone out there. No rescue mission can reach it. No nearby spacecraft can confirm what it sees. Everything humanity knows about this distant region arrives through fragile signals from a machine built nearly half a century ago. Which makes the latest discovery even more unsettling. Because the deeper the anomaly was studied, the more its structure appeared informational rather than accidental. Some analysts claimed the spacing inside the geometric formations resembled mathematical ratios found throughout nature, patterns associated with order instead of randomness. That does not automatically mean intelligence. But it does raise a terrifying possibility. What if deep space contains structures or phenomena humanity simply lacks the science to recognize? What if Voyager did not encounter an object at all, but something more fundamental, a form of organization woven into interstellar space itself? And if that possibility sounds unsettling, the implications become even darker when considering Voyager's trajectory. The spacecraft is still moving outward. Still transmitting. Still traveling deeper into the region where these anomalies first appeared. Which means if something truly interacted with Voyager once, the encounter may not be over. Right now, somewhere in the darkness beyond our solar system, Voyager 1 continues its silent journey through a place no human being has ever seen firsthand. Its signals grow weaker every year. Eventually, the spacecraft will fall permanently silent. But before that happens, Voyager may answer one final question humanity never expected to ask. Was the universe empty out there? Or was something waiting beyond the edge of the sun all along?